know what you're thinking. And yes, I do work out. You may find this hard to believe, but I was not always the mentally muscled pencil pusher you see flexing his mind before you. You see, back in the day I was super lightweight, back-talking elementary school teacher's champion. With one raise of my scrawny arm, I could hit Mrs. Ames with a colloquial plural of octopus, list every Venezuelan vice president in reverse alphabetical order, and correct the subject-verb disagreement in her original question. Our phones were ringing like a Save the Whales telethon back then. Inquiring teachers wanted to know, how could such a skinny little kid be filled with so much hatred and contempt? Backtalkers don't win many blacktop boxing matches. Scrawny arms raised for throwing sand and exacting scratches, because educated 4th grade playground mercenaries know creating pain is easier than creating. Yo, white boys, narrower than Urkel, but this imagination's fertile, but you can't fit a square into a social circle, though stuffed into a locker, one tends to get philosophical. I mean, blood, black, and blue do make a pretty shade of purple. In 7th grade, I scrawled Neanderthal across Takashi's locker with a Sharpie after he lit my hair on fire to see what it would smell like. I left a couple blazing trails on the asphalt when he tore after me during lunch. Could have been friends, but nerds with vendettas offend, and God prefers burning a vandal on both ends. Melted wax poetics, doing lines of Shakespeare in the bathroom with a library card and a twisty straw. That lightweight Hulk Hogan who can't bench press the Wheaties box his face is on. I don't think I need remind anyone of my famous last stand in middle school. The post-PE face-off in the hallway, Mr. Minchell and his whistle blocking the exit. My boombox was the only one that ever stuck by my side, so I cranked the janky Credo blaster to 10. If you wanna go and get high with me, smoking L in the back of the Benzie. Oh, why must I feel this? Started rhyming over the top of his head. I can't remember exactly what was said, just that it was epic. Brought in references to Machiavelli and post-Civil War Reconstructionism. Every phrase had a sneaky metaphor and 3 punchlines. Soon, a crowd gathered to bear witness. Got more sauce than shoyu. A kid fainted. Watch your back, cause I'll lyrically destroy you. Oh, stop! Oh my god, I gotta kill you! Next thing I know, Officer Krupke is reading me my Miranda rights in the principal's office. Apparently, according to state penal code, lyrical destruction is still a threat and a federal offense. Every time I tell my friends the story, I leave out the tear that hits the ground in front of my chair. The sobs struggling to get out of my throat. That lightweight, light-skinned grandmaster of emotional repression. I know what you're all thinking. And please, don't tell anyone.
Alright, now I gotta keep it coming. This is the very last poem of the evening. You understand that? The last one. He is 16 years old from San Francisco. I need to hear you give it up for George Watsky.
I just want to say that was great. That was amazing. Marry me. Okay? But, I forgot Hanukkah this year. I guess it wouldn't be such a bad thing if I wasn't Jewish. I forgot Passover last year, and the year before that. And I just found out Yom Kippur existed. And I guess it wouldn't be such a bad thing if I wasn't Jewish. I forgot dreidels and latkes and family this year. I forgot tradition, and religion this year. I forgot Hanukkah this year. And I guess it wouldn't be such a bad thing if I wasn't Jewish. Well, half Jewish. Does half Jewish mean I only have to remember half the holidays or all the days from December to January? Does it mean
See, my left hand only knows what my right hand says, so with my right I hold the Torah, and with my left I raise the dead? Or should I half believe in Jesus and half believe he's fraud and believe the Red Sea open just for half the Jews to cross? I don't sort of think it's ill-advised for Philistines in Palestine to wish to be where semi-honored ancestors had wandered, right? Do I believe in 40 days and 40 nights or 40 years, no hope in sight, or turn to 40 ounces, pop the cap, and have a hopping night? I want to picture me just sitting down and pounding scripture out like a bar mitzvah with an after-party at a brothel house. But if my podium, my hopes would smash like crystal glasses on linoleum, is that my Jewish youth symposium I'd read? Baruch atah, I don't know, elevator melancholy Chomsky known. Sheheyatsu, Vikings, Randy Moss in Super Bowl. And I'd fit the bill in skittish Yiddish mixed with Phyllis Diller. I'd use my moxie, softly dodging paparazzi, never letting on my ancestors were likely both the prey and pride of Nazis. But as the praying pride, it's best to stay inside, because no one likes the guy who rides the fence and pensively denies God's in the sky. And if I choose a side, I'm guaranteed to lose, because I'm simply half and half that make a hole for me to crawl into and die. When I see that half and half is cream and milk, 2 shades of white, combined into a condiment that no one wants to drink just by itself, then I'll start to homogenize my culture and my time. But no religion can envision claiming even half my mind.
I'd like to think of myself as a real smooth guy when it comes to the ladies. I would like to think of myself that way, but unfortunately that's just not the case. March 2nd, 9:42 p.m. I saunter confidently down Fillmore Street. I spy an attractive young lady around my age. No guy accompanying her. Check. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Check. No mace, pepper spray, or stun guns within grabbing range. Check. 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 Normally I'd let the situation go, but I had no place to be, so I tip my cap at a jaunty angle and strut over to her. Her thick blonde hair is covered in a thin mesh hat, and I can tell by her smile she doesn't know I'm hitting on her yet. I engage her in conversation. She's handing out flyers on AIDS awareness, and since I like to see young people volunteering these days, all systems are go. I slick forward my hair, roll up my pant leg, and check my reflection in a liquor store window. Not bad. She's cute, but something seems out of place, but I search her eyes and I can't find an imperfection in her face. I start to ask for her number, but when I look down at her head again, I notice that her hair is an extension clipped to the back of her cap, and beneath the mesh hat, her skull is bare. She sees my smirk. She's hurt and tells me in as many words that she's been terminally diagnosed since birth. She said the hair, that's just a side effect. It's temporary, barely matters, but I've had this virus in me since you had it in yourself to shake a rattle and expect your parents' laughter. Blood rushed to my cheeks, I went weak in the knees. She'd be buried before I ever got married. I got a degree, I wanted to scream at her, not to remind me I don't have my life for keeps, and of the times when I was little and I'd cry myself to sleep. How dare you make me think 6 feet deep, like she pricked my consciousness with a dirty IV, like someday I'll die, be lying deep below the surface of my mind, and she reminded me I'll have to leave the ones I love behind. I'll lose my life after I lose my movement memory inside. I'll lose the right to breathe, the right to be, civility in mind. I'll gain tranquility, but lose the right I emphasize tonight, which is my right to ease my pain with my ability to write. And so when I pass to greener pastures, the last thing that I'll think is if they buried me with an intravenous needle filled with ink, so I can shoot up and write from my pricked index finger tipping to kill the boredom, spill out my post-mortem memoirs from the crypt. And I'm the one infected. I hated her, because as I walked away from her, I checked my reflection in her face and saw a selfish little boy staring back. She faced me, dropped her stack of flyers. I braced and she said plainly, "There is no such thing as terminal. I'm still cared for, and I'm not scared for what I can't prepare for. So you wanna find a terminal? Then check the Oakland airport. She went on, said, God, I've been through stuff that might not pass for bubblegum, but fuck a little roughness, cause everything is everything if you're a little tough. And when the world breaks your legs, then go and beat it with your crutch. And if you plan on getting older, then I guess that means that life itself's a terminal disease. So please, I'd like to think there's no such thing as terminal. This recipe is so simple. Simmer you peanut butter brown, mix me French vanilla. All I know is we would make a delicious jelly bean together. Call it Paris Bronze, Terracotta Riviera. I'd have a handful, but I need to check the ingredients first. I like the jelly bean and soft and crunchy like that, and I like the recipe cause I like the ingredients cause I like you. Like the way you smile. Like the way you've picked up Irish cadences from the boys at the pub like a leprechaun punched you in the mouth with a fistful of shamrocks. The way you banter on scanty guitars like Providence, Rhode Island was built on jamrock. Call me prepubescent, adolescent softy. Call your bright eyes glossy solar systems, and take my word cause I haven't yet removed my wisdom molars like an older mouth's revision. So blame my sweet tooth on my youth. Check the sugar content on the blend, cause I like this confection. I am Cupid! The liaison of love, the constable of crush, the soldier of swoon. I am Cupid, the nearly fully grown, cherubic, nearly fully clothed, angelic student of prudent, lurid lust your parents warned you about. I am Cupid, the oh-so son of mafioso, breaking into your heart, strapped with semi-automatic good intentions, demanding show me some love or break yourself, bitch. I am Cupid. The merciful mercenary burying, card-carrying, haterade crusaders and making dating more outrageous than the strangest pages from the latest book on Space Invaders. I am Cupid, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. If I wanted to, I could shoot an arrow through the back of a man standing in front of a mirror, watch him fall in love with his own reflection, and attempt to get with himself with a clear conscience. I could put some Cristal on ice, blast some Jill Scott at the White House at night, and hook John Ashcroft up with Condoleezza Rice. If I wanted to, I could work things out between Justin and Brittany and Bobby and Whitney. And if I couldn't find someone man enough for the Statue of Liberty, I could break off the Washington Monument for her pleasure, because after all, a woman knows her own needs best. If I wanted to, I could tell you why girls at dances wear uncomfortable stilettos. They know they'll take off after 5 minutes, and how to bring up your unmentionables in a conversation without even mentioning them. I could tell all the guys out there where there's so many girls who want you as bad as you want that best friend, and I could tell you why all women, without exception, make sweeping generalizations. I could cook up a hookup and look up the fate of a breakup and stick out a make-out location in case I could catch a Casanova in over his head. I could if I wanted to, but forgive me, this shit just seems a little bit trivial these days. I mean, the world as we know it is about to cave in on itself, and I am wasting the almighty power of love on the heavy-hearted bourgeoisie. It's 2004, I think it's high time for more goal-oriented Cupid. Cupid Remix. International Edition. Automatic, diplomatic, do what you do, player. Just keep some loving on your mind. I'm gonna shoot an arrow through Pakistan's heart and watch it go make out with India in the backseat of its Camaro. I'm gonna sprinkle love doses over the Middle East and see Israel and Palestine moaning in the throes of passion on the West Bank, and I'm gonna teach the president to stop fucking the world over and show and make love. I want the USA I want the USA and Iraq, you're rocking the Casbah, giving each other rub-downs with calamine. I want the deleting of creeping, no more cheating, silently in pantomime on Middle Eastern allies claiming oil as an alibi. And I want to hear George W. Bush asking Saddam Hussein to be his Valentine. Don't say peace in the East is a fleeting mirage. I know Sweden be needing a Swedish massage. I say Eden right here and I'm feeding the cause. By the evening I'm leaving to see that this heathen gets Ireland, England, and Wales to menage. Basically, Georgie Porgy's pushing for a diplomatic orgy. Uganda, Botswana, Guyana, Peru, Namibia, Libya, India too. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Thailand, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get out the tanning oil and give the earth a sensual full body massage, dislodging misogyny, causing a total global collage, and going rope-a-dope on folks who go for broke. I'm breaking hope and groping fraud. So Cupid just quit his desk job, Bob, and this vigilante love God's marauding on untrodden ground. The sound of rounds of applause, lauded on liberally, living the cause, giving the flaws, a bit to the credit of breaking the laws, giving me migraines, my pain is the refrain from a symphony of sympathy sweeping the planet. Damn it, I got a blazing arrow and I'm not afraid to plant it right in your ass if you got 1 ounce of anti-romantic Semitic semantics in you that you want to pass off as true. If you're a threat to global harmony, I'm coming for you. Not to hurt you, just to show you what some loving can do. The age of fighting is through. We'll be as close to super glue if you get off your ass and show some goddamn love to Cupid too. Let me scratch for you a graven image of the perfect creature. Birthed from words, I'll use the earth to work each earthen feature. Purse your lips with ether. Curve your hips with metered rhyme. I'll turn your wrists with burning trees too. I'll blaze the forest just to see you. Now that I've created you, it's nice to meet you. Would you like to get a room? There's a Motel 6 that rents by the hour a couple blocks down. A kiss could lead to pitching heated in the kitchenette and eating skin like bread, or needing you instead. But I digress. I just created perfect form from flesh and didn't try to date you. I just tried to get your perfect form undressed. I guess this is our animal instinct. There are 2 young males sitting by the bar. Enter fertile female. Cue appalling bar fight. Speed to next day headlines. Yuppie dead in grisly mauling in the starlight. These are our animal instincts. The human ones will glide to try and justify the migratory patterns of the mind. How each winter my psyche wings its way south below the beltline. Hover hummingbird-like in the delta till a melting polar ice cap sends me headside. Find me next day nesting by your bedside. There are 2 young males out by the sandbar. Enter fertile female. Both swim over, but the ones with bigger fins wins over female because hammerheads aren't overly cerebral. The smaller shark chagrined grins sheepishly and starts to swim away. But wait, the female takes the bait, his smile. She sees how sharp his teeth are. He could cut some punk shark bad considering how hard the 7 seas are. Protection's half the sum if you apply it as a Trojan. It's not the measure of the fin, man, it's the motion in the ocean. These are our animal instincts. There are 2 young males grazing by the barn. Enter fertile female. Bulls of equal size will meet each other's eyes, scorch each other's corneas, then drop their horns and hit. There are 2 young urban professionals sitting by the juice bar. Enter fertile female. Cue the battle for the gentleman who gets the lady's email. They loosen their ties. 1 male lets out a roar. They charge. Head meets underbelly. The herd gathers to watch. Wheatgrass shots and bloody polo shirts fly across the room. There were 2 young urban professionals by the bar. Enter fertile female. She wonders why the fuck they're looking at her like a piece of retail. Just take a goddamn picture if you can't recall the details. Cue the battle for the gentleman who wins the lady's email. Cue female exiting juice bar stage right. What a fucking pair of idiots. Cut to female walking 2 blocks down, taking a right, entering Motel 6. Stairs to the 3rd floor, elevator broken, entering 2nd door on left. I've been waiting for you here. It's nice to meet you. Let me scratch for you a graven image of the perfect creature. Birthed from words, I'll use the earth to work each earthen feature. Purse your lips with ether, curve your hips with metered rhyme. I'm sure I'll turn your wrists with burning trees too. I'll blaze the forest just to see you. Now I've met you. Would you like some seafood? This might be my masterpiece. This poem, a manifestation of potential superiority. This could be my white wooden picket fence house in the middle of suburbia, and there's a chance that this is why I usually have enough extra spending money to carry around. This could be my masterpiece. This could be George's masterpiece. This piece could be the fact that George Watsky usually has enough extra spending money to carry around. And although he doesn't live in a white wooden picket fence house in the middle of suburbia, he probably could if he wanted to. I could if I wanted to. This might yet be my masterpiece. This piece might yet be the fact that I, George Watsky, usually have enough extra spending money to carry around. And although I don't live in a white wooden picket fence house in the middle of suburbia, my parents might have. And this piece could be the fact that although their parents didn't live in white wooden picket fence houses in the middle of suburbia, they probably lived in gray picket fence houses on the outskirts of suburbia, and as a function of the common denominator, my family is hypothetically white wooden picket fence houses and extra spending money all the way down. This piece might be my family's masterpiece. Masterpiece. Master. Peace master. Sometimes I wonder if one of those gray-white picket fence houses outside the inskirts of suburbia might not have potentially sat in the middle of a tobacco plantation, backhoes bent backwards towards the sky asking salvation. George, that's German for farmer. I've never been asked to bend backwards into the soil. Peace, master. Peace, master. Peace, master. 2 generations ago in history class, I learned about George Pullman, accomplished inventor of the Pullman sleeping car in 1867, and I almost felt accomplished myself to share a name with the man. Last week in history class, I didn't learn about the 10,000 black Pullman porters who were unceremoniously abused on the job and then denied a fair union by George Pullman's company. Several generations ago in history class, I was never told that customers on Pullman cars referred to all 10,000 black porters as George, after the founder of the company who denied those very workers their dignity. And I almost felt accomplished to share a name with them. This is George's masterpiece. It's the story of me and all of them and Mr. Pullman. A theoretical case study of 10,002 men named George. Or it's a treatise on 2 white men and 10,000 black men named George. Or it's a historical document examining the political implications of 2 white men named George and 10,000 black men called George. But any way you spin it, this is George's masterpiece. Orderly conglomeration of white wooden picket fence houses and extra spending money, and the fact that I will probably never be named based on the color of my skin. Every back with a cashmere sweater tied over it wishes it could bend backwards into the soil. Guilt is the best fertilizer for growing in tobacco country, and guilt is the best ashtray in the city where every sensitive urbanite teaches their child to sing with a cigar between their lips. The Caucasian national anthem. Trials, walked many roads. The white man's burden is a heavy load. I may be pale, but I've got soul. I know my Jay-Z lyrics off the album that I stole. Trust me tell you that this is George's masterpiece. This is about gray white picket fence houses melted together with Harlem tenements and hell-bent backwards backhoes and the extra spending money eating its way through my pockets, but it is not about guilt. This masterpiece is about George and Georgie and why Curious George looks so much like a monkey in pictures and why President George looks so much like a monkey in pictures and why Georges in general tend to get pictured as monkeys and George's unguilty monkey masterpiece. That's regarding me sitting, change-ridden, in the living room of my semi-fat Richmond, unpicket fence, unsuburban, urban flat, is basically saying, fuck the Caucasian national anthem, you can have it back. I've got a new one. I have a new one. I have a new national anthem, and this is how it goes. Trials, walk many roads, or come down from the mountains on the river as it flows. I haven't marched through valleys, and I doubt that I've grown, but I know that the all's where my heart's where it's all, so I'm finally coming home. Nod your head to the beat. Everybody just nod your head to the beat. Everybody just nod your head to what the MC said. Just nod your head to the beat. I'm MC Hard and I'm here to say I've been climbing the charts and I'm here to stay. Made a lot of money and I fucked a lot of bitches, but the bottom line is rapping's only worth it for the riches. Nod your head to the beat. Everybody just nod your head to the beat. Everybody just nod your head to what the MC said. Just nod your head to the beat. MC Hard just went quadruple platinum rapping some and spent half the sum on a diamond-studded Gatling gun. MC Hard was the keynote speaker at the Republican National Convention and touted Bush's tax cuts as the best new way to pay a wealthy rapper's pension. MC Hard was arrested as a prepubescent child molester and served consecutive terms as Grammy winner for best new sex offender to force himself on school kids each semester. MC Hard hasn't won a freestyle battle since he rapped against his rival MC Heart Attack, who collapsed from cardiac arrest and forfeited, and yet MC Hard is the one who got discovered by a record executive who liked his do-rag. MC Hard is the one who bumped a single in the latest Nike shoe ad. And MC Hard is the rapper who had all the skills those shoes had, but wound up rocking sold out suburban shows as the latest middle school fad. And had the crowd not in the head of the beat. MC Hard at the East Coast, not in the head of the beat. The left coast, not in the head of the beat. That chess club kid in the fourth row, not in his head of the beat. I just got a new Bentley the company sent me. Miss Preteen America, not in the head of the beat. I robbed the bitch to ice my wrist. Your middle-aged history teacher, not in his head of the beat. I'm strapped to blow, not in. I slap the hoe, not in. America's youth agrees. Shoot a man and then shoot the breeze. Not in agreement, I'll kill her and mean it. I'm willing to kill a man in his dreams. It seems so wrong. It seems so distinctly American. I wrote my own manifesto last night. A threatening letter to MC Hard. Last night, I penned a list of demands for the new hip-hop. For a world those who care to think can live in, can write in. Dear MC Hard, this is my list for tomorrow. 1, dissonance is the new harmony. 2, Norah Jones signs to Murder Inc. records. 3, 50 Cent joins the Peace Corps. 4, E40 is the new editor of the Oxford English Dictionary. 5, Clear Channel and KMEL make Davey D CEO. And then the numbers crumble, man. Fantasy running through my demands. John Kerry learns to beatbox. TRL has Black Alicious at number 1. Tupac is actually resurrected this Easter. The US flag is rearranged with 13 stripes, 50 stars, and 2 turntables on it. Method Man makes the cover of Good Housekeeping. Mystical learns English. The Crips and the Bloods are now knitting clubs. Riding on dubs means getting a piggyback ride. From George W. Bush rappers delight as the national anthem. DJ Clue had his vocal cords removed. Women are treated with respect and reverence in every verse. Women are treated with respect and reverence in every verse. Women are treated with respect and reverence in every verse. LGBTQs, the impoverished, the left-handed, communist, children, school teachers, grandmothers, janitors, every race, religion, body type, blood type, stereotype is treated with respect and reverence in every MC's album, song, line, rhyme, word, atom, backslash, frame of consciousness in every word, verse, words hurt, words first, the worst words burst, dreams, and curb jerks. You hear that, MC Hard? It started. It's just carbon moving, but I'm nodding to all the right things, not the hip-hop on the right wing. So if you strike like lightning with your writing, here's the right thing. Shake your head to the beat. Everybody just shake your head to the beat. Everybody just shake your head to what the MC said if you do not agree.
It is my 18th birthday when I first smelled the burning of a country, of our country. When I slip my biggest finger into the seam of an envelope and pull out a bald eagle and a mandate. See the smoke pouring from its beak and heating up the room, and me doomed to doing just what I'd expect from a 17-year-old regretting he'd encountered time. Nothing. The eagle on my fresh new draft registration card winks at me like he's seen the same reaction from every fresh new 18-year-old boy's face in the last 40 years. Nothing. Slow burning. I can smell Iraq smoldering all the way across our country, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Mediterranean. See the tips of the flames shooting above the prime meridian and the city end. I can see my own kitchen and my weather-worn breakfast table and my fresh new draft registration card falling to the fire. And I know I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go to war, I don't have to take up arms, pick up my legs, I don't have to kill or be killed, because as much as these flames are filling up our planet, our country, my kitchen, I am safely insulated from them by a layer of asbestos in back of my stove. Now let's backtrack to my first ever poetry slam, when I realized that no matter how heavy the blaze becomes, there will always be people with buckets of water. And despite the heat of the flames outside, they are beaten away that night, and there is no way they can ever break through these walls. Let's burn forward into the present. And there is a young man planted in Navy boot camp. Someone for whom doing nothing was not an option. Someone who, on March 15th, 2003, in my first ever poetry enlightening, poured bucket after bucket of water into this microphone to keep the flames outside at bay. And I thought there was no way they could ever break through these walls. And now I can see our country burning. And now I can see cinders in Bayview and Hunters Point and men downtown holding matches and cans of gasoline. And now I can see that however much I know that killing another creature is wrong, any protest I mount against the flames of war is eclipsed by the fact that I'm insulated. That all I am doing is shutting my front door when thousands of Americans are being drafted through the back. And the back door hoard itself out for the price of respect in us. But I'm not surprised about the burns the army has been getting us. Be all that you can be is fucking burned into our retinas. And I'm betting a senator would never pen a letter to me saying he's playing about the war on peace, and he's gonna send all the members of Congress overseas. See, we are tired of burning, of some of us earning enough to burn up a Cuban cigar lit with $100 bill. And why? Because some of us aren't earning enough to pay our heating bills on time, and they're burning up those bills to heat their homes at night. And why? Because somewhere in a room in Washington, D.C., there's a man heating up the Oval Office by burning our Bill of Rights. And I know that America is burned when a poet is forced to fight, because I can see the fire climbing up the lining of the night meat day with a right hook look. We say we hold learning dear, but we're cooking it, searing it. No one is hearing the warnings. We're wearing a tourniquet over the sore, but it's okay because ours is a nation of born again, born born again innocence, feet in the flames, burn this. Burning CDs because we're too consumer savvy to pay for our own music. Burn this. Burning books because we have computers and the pages can't get ruined. Burn this. Burning calories, fat salaries stack up and we're not skinny enough to fit into that new Armani suit and buy it, but we could burn a lot of fat cells on the Atkins diet. Burn again until we're innocent. Again until we're pretty, again until we reconstruct the damage in the city. Didn't you hear, America? You can't expand that fast in the morning and then burn back to a size 3 when it gets dark. Just ask the inner city and it'll let you know that manifest destiny leaves stretch marks. We would get smart quick, but we're too bent on the religious. We go back to where we started, but we burned all of our bridges quick-witted to cover the scars, so we burned up the stitches and keep them hidden beneath the cover of darkness. Say we admire the stars, so the price for the richer is higher, but now we missed the bigger picture clip and ended up as liars. We've been taking notes from tabloids, so we pulled a Richard Pryor, picked up suicidal tendencies and lit ourselves on fire. And I know that America is burning because there's a poet preparing to fight, and that poet isn't me. In this pyromaniac nation cinching its eyebrows on highbrow consumerism and lowbrow humor needs to put away the fireworks and stop trying to make it hotter. Take some notes from poets, grab a bucket and some water. My high school geography class is full of borders. Jack opens up his textbook, the DeBart train, 2 buses, and his beat-up Reeboks carried into the room. He works half-time to pay the small slice of tuition not covered by his financial aid. William forgot his books again. It doesn't matter. He's working for his dad doing Nike ads after college. I don't know where I fit on this map, so I bury myself in our atlas. Imagine we can flatten out the world and place everyone on the same page. The easy answers always have a catch. Strike a match and watch compassion wing itself out the window like a frightened bat. It's easy to wax that we got the top tax bracket, throwing up food stamps for backup and insisting that the world is flat. Saying, fuck Copernicus, fuck welfare, everything I need to know I learned in business school, and the campus lawn definitely didn't bend over the horizon. Postgrads point to the maps in their textbook atlas as proof. Explain that in the Mercator projection, South America and Africa are practically the size of England. That the world is flat in a map, in an atlas, in a classroom in Massachusetts, and you can't put the whole world on the same page. It's too easy to soak up the sun in Martha's Vineyard on the Atlantic and let the Western Hemisphere run Euro-concentric circles around the rest of the planet. Asking, why run when we can fly? It's easy for jet setters to litter out the window above the globe like cabin pressure was a metaphor for Lincoln's American dream blown open so we can go and dump trash into the ocean and stratosphere and buy it back wrapped in plastic and glass shards bartered from Ghana. Pawned off on Rwanda. Why can't the mall rat in Nowhere, Nevada drop her shopping bags and wrap her arms around the kid who stitched her Prada? Cause odds are a sweatshop worker in Togo used his last thread of dignity to sew the logo on my polo. I've been to summer homes filled with kids fitted in Manolo from Lesotho who don't know that Nagasaki is not the hot new sushi shop in Soho. That the Reeboks didn't sea-walk themselves down the assembly line. Maybe we would understand if every laborer went on strike and the boxes from Foot Locker came with disassembled footwear like Here's an idea, and assemble your own fucking shoe store. We can call it Nikea. This is bad religion. A back of the classroom note tied to the leg of a pigeon. A pipe dream. A fly dream. Maybe jet setters will abandon aircraft and hop on the backs of doves. The backs of frightened bats. Rise above the cumulus and toss accumulated stacks of greenbacks off the backs to the masses gathered below. And I try to tell myself, if the yen can rise above the dollar, if the euro can rise above the dollar, if the Swiss franc can rise above the dollar, then so can we. I see the Messiah rocking a sermon at the top of the G8 summit. A poetry slam in Mozambique with folks spitting in Swahili. 10,000 mother tongues translated from English, and Gavin Newsom repaving a pothole in Thailand. America is not an island, and you don't have to be between the borders of geography class to fit the world on the same page. America, I have a problem. I'm sick and tired of getting hit on with cheesy pickup lines. I'm done with people coming up to me at clubs and asking what my sign is. No, I don't have a map because you're getting lost under my eyelids. I wrote a letter to my representative to take this epidemic on. I walked right up to my congressman on the White House lawn and told him we shouldn't have to put up with this harassment one day longer. It's checkup time. After all, half of all Americans are living at or below the pickup line. And after I begged for a solution to this pressing national scourge, do you know what he said to me? My fellow American, you must have your Sky Miles card on you today because you're looking extra fly. I couldn't help but wonder who'd elect this guy. And then it hit me. Think back to every ad campaign and inner city baby kissing politician visit, each fake debate, each missile missive, each broken man, each token mandate spoken, every candidate in history and campaign slogan. A chicken in every pot, leave no child behind, hook and sinker, this is a stick-up crime. Politicians go fishing for votes and toss us the pickup line. We're backed into the corner of a crowded club. Fuck one night stands, we got some scrub white guys spitting game looking for some 4-year love. Like, wanna get a pizza and go to war? What, baby, you don't like pizza? Hey, America, is that the Florida Peninsula, or are you just happy to see me in office? Got Dick Cheney saying, let's knock boots. We don't even have to make a room deposit. I've got the keys to the Lincoln bedroom, or if you want, you can feel up my man boobs in the White House broom closet. You know you want to butter up a slice of this Wonder Bread. I'm going to save the endangered deep-sea ninja turtles from extinction, and intergalactic space alien starvation, and finally, free the whales! This is a national facelift, and I'ma give each gritty city a pair of pretty plastic matching magic titties that breastfeed the needy and lactate pity. America, I'ma make you look so good that Canadians start threatening to move here. And I gotta wonder if maybe our leaders got this way because it's all they ever heard. Maybe Clinton started kicking his Lewinsky fibs because Nixon kicked him fiction first. And maybe Tricky Dick whipped up that twisted shit because Woodrow Wilson flit his lids and flossed the flirt. And Lincoln tossed some slurs. And maybe Thomas Jefferson thought slavery was working because he studied how they rolled in ancient Greece and took their word. This system is learned, so I've got a new assignment.
This is the pickup line, picket line, and I've decided I'm gonna pick up 1 million angry citizens and march down Market holding picket signs, reading "This is what my fucking sign is." And next time a politician comes up to me at a bar and says, "God damn, George, you must be wearing space pants tonight because your ass is out of this world," I'ma shout, "My great ass is not the point. There must be a ballot in my pocket because I'm not happy to see you. And here's the door because 4 more years is not the route. So yeah, I admit it. I guess I'll be pretty happy to see you out."
Step into the stage, 19 years old, representing San Francisco. This is George Watsky. Y'all better act like y'all know.
Normally I don't give introductions. I apologize. This is my last time on a You Speak Slam mic ever, so forgive me. But I want to get a show of hands in here. How many people in here have ever been a virgin? I want to see every fucking hand in the building go up. I don't want to hear any, "I lost my virginity before my dad did." Shit. That's not happening. I want everybody to keep your hands up right now for me. Just do this for me, please humor me. And I want you guys to split the middle finger right here. I want you to make a V. Every time you guys feel me, I want you to throw that up, all right? That's the affirmative. And I know that every one of you here was a virgin at some point, so you can relate to me. This is for those among us who got enough play through 12th grade to carry in an upside-down teaspoon. For every kid who could have counted their high school hookups on 2 hands tied behind their back. For every wallflower seance master with both palms on the crystal ball, channeling the collective romantic prowess of Steve Urkel, Al Gore, Richard Simmons, Bill Gates, and Screech from Saved by the Bell. This is the anthem for those among us who got none in our formative years, and this poem is for every high school virgin who wouldn't have had it any other way. I wouldn't trade one Friday night with my friends for a no-strings-attached evening with the current Playboy centerfold. I don't care if between me and the boys we had less hookups under our belts than McDonald's franchises on the moon. I would rather be Screech in a room full of Screeches than Zach Morris in a room full of Screeches any day. And you don't know the possibilities of a weekend until you've cracked a 4-pack of Juice Squeeze with your boys, bumped Notorious B.I.G.'s Big Papa, and watched an entire Star Trek The Next Generation marathon. For me, virgin was working, and I can see why Trekkies greet each other by throwing up the letter V. Live long and prosper. It's time to reclaim the high school virgin as sexy. It's time to toss this pesky misconception to the dogs, and I'm not talking Britney Spears sexy. I'm not talking born again innocent sexy. I'm not talking Catholic schoolgirl who doesn't give it up just so you can try to make her give it up. Immaculate rejection sexy. I'm talking, damn, that's some sexy peach fuzz sexy. I'm talking picked last for kickball sexy. He's so sexy his homework, the laundry, and the dishes do themselves around him sexy. I'm talking cowlick, house arrest, sweater vest sexy. Bed rest, Led Zepp air guitar sexy. Pen pal, study group, buddy system, teddy bear, hand-me-down sweatpants, corduroy sexy. And yes, I'm also talking pocket protector sexy. Tidy whitey nightlight anime sexy. I'm also talking check out the curves on that parabola sexy. Trekkie,
Sexy. But mostly, this is regular kid sexy. Brown paper bag, unpopular for the right reasons, what a nice guy sexy. Spends Fridays doing nothing with his friends sexy. Fuck your football team sexy. I'm talking big fat V on my Letterman's jacket, cause I'm varsity sexy. So hold your head high in the struggle, have pride in the struggle. I can't rock your world, but damn, can I cuddle? Girl, I wanna lay you down. Girl, I wanna lay you down by the fire with a bowl of popcorn and watch Fresh Prince reruns. Girl, you're flying solo tonight because I'm gonna hang out with 4 of my friends and drive around the city bumping Biggie. This is for every kid who couldn't get it, didn't want to get it, or had it and gave it back. Sashay across that graduation stage, sexy and slow, and say, fuck VD. I got a VHD in high school psychology on my diploma roll. So y'all can call me Dr. Big Papa. And throw your V's in the air if you's a true player, and wave them side to side like you just don't care. And for everyone here who's ever a virgin, and for everyone here who's ever loved themselves for who they are, put that arm towards the sky and understand that at least one dorky white boy from the 415 knows that it's the sexiest fucking arm he's seen in his entire sexy life. Hold on to your seat, toes and gentlemen. MC Hard is in the building. Nod your head to the beat, everybody just nod your head to the beat, everybody just nod your head to what the MC said, just nod your head to the beat. Yo, nod your head to the beat, everybody just nod your head to the beat, everybody just nod your head to what the MC said, just nod your head to the beat. Yo, I'm MC Hard and I'm here to say I've been climbing the charts and I'm here to stay. I made a lot of money and I fucked a lot of bitches, but the bottom line is rapping's only with the for the riches. I hit switches and grab hoes by the nappy weaves. I toss a bitch out the door, bitch leave, bitch believe I'm MC Hard and you know this. Ho, you can't get close to this. Shut the fuck up, nod bitch! Nod your head to the beat, everybody just nod your head to the beat, everybody just nod your head to what the MC said, just nod your head to the beat. MC Hard, just went quadruple platinum rapping some, bought a diamond-studded Gatling gun, and spent the summer rafting doing float-by shootings in the sun. MC Hard was the keynote speaker at the Republican National Convention and touted Bush's tax cuts as the best new way to pay a wealthy rapper's pension. MC Hard was arrested as a prepubescent child molester and served consecutive terms as Grammy winner for Best New Sex Offender to force himself on school kids each semester. MC Hard hasn't won a freestyle battle since he rapped against his rival MC Heart Attack, who collapsed from cardiac arrest and forfeited. And yet, MC Hard is the one who got discovered by a record executive who liked his do-rag. MC Hard is the one who single bumped in the latest Nike shoe ad, and MC Hard is the rapper who had all the skills those shoes had, but wound up rocking sold out suburban shows at the latest middle school fad, and had the crowd nodding the head of the beat. The East Coast, the left coast, and that chess club kid in the fourth row nodding his head to the beat. Yo, I just got a new Bentley, the company sent me. I robbed the bitch to ice my wrist. I'm strapped to blow, I slapped the hoe. I wrote my own manifesto last night, a threatening letter to MC Hard. Last night, I penned a list of demands for the new hip-hop. Dear MC Hard, this is my list for tomorrow. 1. Dissonance is the new harmony. 2. Nora Jones signs to G-Unit Records. 3. 50 Cent joins the Peace Corps. 4. E40 is the new editor of the Oxford English Dictionary. 5. Clear Channel and KMEL make Davey D CEO. Here's where I lose focus. John Kerry learns to beatbox. TRL has Black Alicious at number 1. Tupac is actually resurrected this Easter. The US flag is rearranged with 13 stripes, 50 stars, and 2 turntables on it. Method Man makes the cover of Good Housekeeping. Mystical learns English. The Crips and the Bloods are now knitting clubs. Riding on Dubs means getting a piggyback ride from George W. Bush. Nelly Mel's The Message is the national anthem. DJ Clue has his vocal cords removed. Women are treated with respect and reverence in every verse. LGBTQs, the impoverished, the left-handed, communists, children, school teachers, grandmothers, janitors, every race, religion, body type, blood type, stereotype is treated with respect and reverence in every MC's album, song, line, rhyme, word, verse, backslash atom frame of consciousness, and MC Hard gets a new hook. Shake your head to the beat, everybody just shake your head to the beat, everybody just shake your head to what the MC said if you do not agree. Yo, shake your head to the beat, everybody just shake your head to the beat, everybody just shake your head to what the MC said if you do not agree.